sports. Turnovers will be an even bigger focus in today's game as both teams come in ranked in the top 10 in turnover differential. It's the Lions going up against the Packers. So with kickoff straight ahead, we'll check in with our broadcast team. Here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively.
So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. And a give this time to the tailback. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Tahir Whitehead from that outside linebacker spot. He's able to get in there for a loss of 9. Rodgers to throw on second down. Caught left side by Cobb. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Throwing is Rodgers on third down. This is Cobb with a catch right side. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Wanting the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. This is taken at the 15. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Lions will take over. And now we get our first look at a guy who's been around the block a time or two. He will not be rattled today.
And that changes things for a defensive coordinator, because normally when you get the young guys, you get the rookies, you throw all the exotic.
So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. And now here's a carry heading left. And it'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Now that's a run that warms a play caller's heart, because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum. Or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top. Or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with. Because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on third down.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And we drop you into the start of this next possession. The score, 7-0. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Complete to Gavin Escobar, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Rodgers now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A gain of 6 there on first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Escobar with it over the middle. And he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Face mask. Defense.
And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Rodgers now to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Throwing is Rodgers. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Time to step aside. We're back to Lambeau following these words. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So on now for the Packers is their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. And Crosby puts it through, and that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So 3 points is the outcome, but probably not what they're looking for. This offense ready to get back out there as they'll have the football to start the 3rd quarter. And they'll run it here. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain, and it's 2nd down. They're trying to establish that running game, but they're really, really having trouble, aren't they?
Yeah, when you're running against a really good 4-3 defense, that means you've got big guys inside who control things. Those big defensive tackles are making it very difficult to find open space.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Packers. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown on the year. And the Packers have drawn even here with the extra point to come. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly.
After an excellent punt, this offense in a tough spot down inside their own 5. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage there.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Rodgers now on first down. This is Cobb with a catch right side. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but, boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. To the right side, complete to Escobar. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put it up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
And give them 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He's got his man on the crossing route. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Rodgers to throw on second down. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Their dangerous wide receiver with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Packers add on to their lead.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
It feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to...
After a good punt, this offense will start with tough field position inside the 10. The play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. 30, the 20. Touchdown, Packers. Their big-bodied receiver, 85 yards. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because of just what you described. They ran it the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back...
So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. A good pickup there at 22. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and he didn't do it very often.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And the ball is knocked out, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
I know you're looking at the scoreboard clock. We'll get near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, meaning taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is...
After a good punt, this offense will start with tough field position inside the 10. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
But it was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Packers defense here getting ready. They forced the punt the last time, got off the field. I'm sure some of your D coordinators through the years, you liked when you heard those words, get off the field. And we drop you into the start of this next possession. The score, 7-0. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Here's Rodgers to throw. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle 3rd of the field, and that brings up 4th. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Green Bay.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go. And we drop you into the start of this next possession. The score, 7-0. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
So they're leading. They have possession of the football, and certainly this is where they just want to milk the clock. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to loop. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game,
and we drop you into the start of this next possession. The score, 7-0. The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey. 4 down.
The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
it was. And you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Packers, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Lions, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head down to San Diego for a matchup with the Chargers. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.